that's a small portion. Like that's not the majority of it. And I mean, hip hop is very powerful, right? Cameron made all of Harlem wear pink. You know what I'm saying? Like most, boys growing up know what all of the liquors are because of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So my point, I guess, is that kind of going back to what you were saying, is that I think that hip hop has more of an influence on a young man's life and what he thinks about economics, and then also what he thinks about how he should treat his brother. Because hip hop, it promotes the violence. It promotes violence. It promotes economic genocide, as far as I'm concerned, right? I mean, like, what is making it rain? That's economic genocide. That's not financial responsibility. And so I think the reason why people don't critique hip hop though is because the rappers are the gatekeepers in the black community. What I mean by that is that in many ways they co-sign blackness. That's what a rapper does. So if you critique him, it's almost like you're anti-black to a certain degree, because no one wants to critique the rapper. The rappers are the heroes, because what they do is that they articulate black suffering in a very powerful way through music, but at the same time they also articulate the dark side of the black community as well, with the violence.
Yeah, I think they do communicate that, and then I do think they paint a false image of what certain things, because a lot of them aren't living the certain lifestyles that they communicate. It's very few, you know what I'm saying, that actually lived a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Like Jay-Z, Jeezy, what's his name? Clips now. Like they professed and lived that, you know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of them communicate in a way that is influential. Because I looked up certain artists. I felt like, man, that's how I gotta be.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? And
so, all right. So I want to say I agree with y'all, but then there's some disagreements, right? So, for one, hip hop, I want to say is the most powerful voice.
Definitely.
Period.
Yeah.
Hip hop controls everything right now, and so that's also a broad stroke, right? And so even with
that statement you just said, gotcha.
That's a broad stroke. So even with its power, I don't think we have. There is critique of hip hop, and can I say that hip hop has overall done more bad than good? I don't know, because see, this is the way I look at it. So hip hop. Okay, so let's bring this back. Us right here, right, as men, there were some things that we did or we thought when we were younger, that we don't think and would do now, and that's the same with artists, right? And so with artists most of the time are expressing their lifestyle, what they've seen, or just a celebration of those things, because we come from neighborhoods and places where those things are praised and go on all the time anyway. So, in one aspect, you can't blame the artist for that, for what they promote in the music, right? So it's like that's kind of what they're used to doing, and what they're used to seeing, and so it's almost a soundtrack to a life, or the life of someone similar to them, right? And so there is some negative that comes from that, but it's also positive. So even with that, I learned about different things, but I also learned, about different authors, you know, some historical facts, learn about, you know, other people in other cities and their struggles, and you know, so you can learn like a multitude of things that come from these artists. And so I think even with that, so when they're younger, they're promoting all this negative thing. They're promoting this drugs. They're promoting the killing and disrespect of the women, right? But some of the artists that have been able to transcend time and you know make it over that the new sound and everything, as they get older, the music is different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think sometimes we're not considering the artist maturing.
Right.
It's a period of immaturity, and then there's a period of people becoming mature and really having a different type of message.
Right.
So yeah, you know, you can get a lot of negative stuff, you know, but it's always gonna be a cycle of it, because like once the artists that we were liking in the '90s, they get older, their music becomes more mature. Yes, but then there's some kids that just was born in 2000.
Right. Right.
It's gonna be ignorant again.
Right.
And so, and not only that, the ignorance is gonna be way higher, because now, you know, their parents are the ones who we are. They're our age, and so, you know, there has been, you know, they grew up different. You know, it's like when we grew up in the '90s, we were just starting to really get the music where, you know, you're like, oh, you're exposed to all these different things that you might not have been exposed to in your home. But now, the kids that are born in 2000, you know, 98, like their parents, they grew up literally on DMX. This is all they know.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? All they know is, you know, Dipset.
Right.
And so there was no filter, because, you know, at one point at least your parents try to keep you away. No, you can't.
Sure.
You know, hear this. You know, you go upstairs, grown folks talking, that type of thing. Now, their kids right there.
Right.
They'll do videos of the kids cussing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So there's it's a difference.
Yeah. I just think that, like with anything, you can find good and bad. So you can you can debate both of those points. But at that point, for me, it comes to emphasis, like what's mostly the case. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, like for example, I mean, we all knew about R. Kelly. You know what I'm saying, from the beginning. But as soon as stuff in the name of love comes on, people get in this psychosis.
It's the music.
You know what I'm saying? They fall under this spell, and they forget everything that he did. You know what I mean? And so I'm saying that obviously people would say, okay, yeah, that was wrong. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to other elements of the music, it just gets to pass because people are under a spell. They're under psychosis from the music. And so I'm saying that it teaches people through the back door. So you can teach people two ways. You know, you can teach people directly, hey, don't do that. Or you can teach people just by demonstration. I'm just living the life. And that cosigns the lifestyle. And that's actually a lot more powerful way to teach. I mean, I think that's one of the reasons why you see Jesus teaching what he does. Hey, follow me. And he's also giving some direct speech as well. I'm saying hip hop is kind of similar to that in the sense that the music video is the picture of the lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? And so that marketing is more powerful than I think we realize. So here's an example, like we know that like the reason why women smoke in public is because of marketing. You know, that was all like a marketing campaign that happened like in the 20s, like 30s and the 40s. And because they understood the psychology of a product, desire, and what people really want. And I'm saying that in the same way that marketing is powerful, like Black Friday. I mean, it doesn't get no better example than that. I'm saying that sometimes, I like you making some great points. I guess my major point is that we have to look at the emphasis.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So that's all I'm saying.
Definitely, hip hop is it's like the most powerful tool, right? And so you can communicate these different thoughts, ideas, lifestyles that we should be, or any lifestyle, can be, conveyed through that, and the receiver, the hearer of it, will kind of come into like a harmony with that in a sense.
Yeah.
It's kind of like like I remember being in Upward Bound, right? And there was some guys they was like on another floor in the dorm, and it was like they was just talking reckless, man, about dudes from Edison. I think it was like mostly like Plymouth guys.
Word.
Or something, stupid robberies. So this is 98.
Right.
This is 98. Do y'all know what came out in 98? It's dark and hell is high.
DMX.
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
I went into the room. I hit play because this is when we had tapes. It hit play on that thing, and I don't know what song it was. I got pumped up.
No, seriously, no.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And I remember once I got pumped up, cause like the aggression.
Yeah.
Is being conveyed, and it's not go do something.
Right.
But it made you feel like you can.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I remember going up, and I remember standing at that door, like, and what?
Exactly. No, that's how it is.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
that's
so
how it is. You turn on that particular song.
Exactly.
You don't turn on any.
Exactly.
Artist.
So there's, we have to understand that that the music can influence.
Yeah.
Especially a weak-minded person, because not everyone has a strong mind, a strong will.
Yeah.
Sometimes they fall into the submission of whatever is kind of guiding them. You know what I mean, to do certain things.
You was about to say, okay, yeah. So when you said that, okay, so here's what I'm saying also is that I think a lot of times when this point comes up, people who will defend hip hop no matter what, they are part of the 20%. Like, they're not even influenced by the music anymore, right? They are well thought out, well balanced, and they're not necessarily doing what the music is saying to do. But that's not the 80% of the masses, though. You know what I'm saying? So I think you got the 80%, and you have the 20%, and then the 20% are maybe the critics of hip hop, people who are giving commentary about music, saying, okay, this is real hip hop, this is not real hip hop, etc., etc., etc. But the average 18, 17, 20, 21-year-old, they're not on that. They're not thinking like that.
Oh no.
They're just, okay, kind of how you were saying, like, okay, I feel this way, let me turn this song on, and then let's do it. And I'm saying a lot of times that part gets lost. I know you don't do that. I get that, respect. But I'm saying that the majority of people think that way. A lot of girls and boys think this way.
Yeah.
And that's the part where you are smart enough to not, believe everything that, the rapper is saying, but there are a lot of people who don't believe that way.
Yeah.
And so I think that is also lost too. And, these are the people that need to be looked out for. So
yeah, definitely, because people. I remember there was a whole thing where rap don't do what rock and roll does, and I was like, I used to think that way, right? Until I met this older guy was at my job one time. He broke it down to me. He's like, you ever watch the Kung Fu movie? I was like, yeah. He said, what did you do after the movie go off? You feel like you can do it? I'm like, yeah. He said, what's the difference between the music? And I was like, jeez. I never heard it like that before.
Right. Yeah.
And so, that's when I started realizing, like, man, you know, this music, it is powerful. It does have influence, and if you don't think it does, then you're a fool, you know, because hey, you set the tone, right? You know, you with your wife, what you throwing? You might not throw on R. Kelly now, but you putting on something, right? You know what I'm saying? You know, and so there is a great influence, and I think that there are artists that can influence positively, you know. And sometimes I think it all depends on who a person chooses to be influenced by, you know, and who not, because, you know, it's just based on taste. You know, it's based on taste and what you want to hear and what really influences you, because I think your own personal morals and everything should control that, not the other way around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you know, conscious hip hop has I guess a great impact today.
Mm-hmm.
Think so?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. There's more conscious artists, and I think
they're more mainstream, you would say, or becoming.
Well, and now, you know. Okay, so I'm gonna say this. I don't think mainstream
is a good term.
Is what it was. I don't even know if mainstream really exists in a sense.
Okay.
And the reason why I say that is because now mainstream was kind of based on who record labels, radios, stations, and all those choose to be, right? And I think there's become a separation that just from the internet alone. You know what I'm saying? It's like now it's an even playing field.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And so now, like,
I got you.
That's why, you know, there was a time where I used to complain like, damn, man, hip hop is dead, or it ain't the way it used to be. I won't say that no more, because whatever you want, you can go find it. And as a matter of fact, you find it, and then they'll suggest somebody similar to it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So whatever you want is right there. It's no, you know, no one's forcing you to listen to the radio and hear this song 20 times a day, but now it's your favorite song. You make your own playlist. You go find the artist you want, and you can support those artists. So I don't think no older person should say hip hop is whatever no more. Hip hop is whatever you want it to be, and so just choose, find what you're looking for. If you don't like the trap stuff, go get some boom bap stuff. You know what I mean? So if you tired of guys singing, it's other guys rapping. So all this is a level playing field. You know what I'm saying? But
gotcha.